Oh, that didn't happen. Okay. So negative 2 is going to go in the little box.
Make sure your microphone.
Oh, thank you. That would be helpful, or I have to redo it. Okay, it says it's on. Make sure it's on this side. Yes. All right. The dividend, we're going to write all the coefficients of the dividend, making sure it doesn't skip. If it does happen to skip in exponents, like if this term was not here, I'd have to put in a 0 as a placeholder. Okay. All right, so our coefficients are 1, negative 3. And again, we're going to do that process. So if we first bring down the first number. Above it. Now we're going to multiply 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. And then we're going to add. So we get negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 2 is, then we add, then we multiply. 4 times negative 2, and we get a remainder of 0. Okay? And we're going to see what that means here in just a few minutes when we look at our graph. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do the same thing on number 2. And number 3, notice that the dividend is exactly the same. The only thing that I changed was the divisor. Okay? Yes? Oh, it's just a straight mark. Sorry. I was trying to point with my pen. When you get 0 as the remainder, it means something very, very special about the graph. So let's figure out what it is about the graph that this indicates for us. So if you see down here, it says we're going to graph the dividend in our calculator in the y equals screen. So if you would please pull up your graph, we're going to type in the dividend. And I can't see very well. Cubed. Oh man. 3x squared. I've had it all up at the top. Okay, give me a minute to type it in. Huh? It's the dividend. The dividend was the same in all 3 problems. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're typing in right here the dividend. Okay. Type in the dividend. And what you should notice is one of the key features of this graph are the x-intercepts. What is one of the x-intercepts? Look on your calculator. What is it? 1. Hey! So one of the x-intercepts was 1. Look here. When I divide it by 1, I got a 0. That 0.10 is the point of my graph. It's an x-intercept. Okay, what's another x-intercept? Yes? I typed in the dividend. 4 was 1? Okay. And that was one of our divisors. What?
I typed it in, but...
Oh, just hit graph.
Oh. Okay.
So 4 was one of the divisors, and we got 0. Look. And then what's another x-intercept on your graph? There it is. So when the remainder is 0, we found an x-intercept without having to factor, without having to do the quadratic formula that we love so much. Okay? When we get a 0 as the remainder, the divisor is an x-intercept. Hence, the factor x plus 2 in number 1 is a factor of our polynomial. Okay? So it crossed at 4. You said 4, 1, and negative 2. The factors would be x plus 2, x minus 1, and minus 4 were the factors. See? Yeah, like the opposite. See that if you were writing it out in long division? Okay? Yes.
Just real quick. With the 0, you have to, I forgot to add it in, but would it be 2x squared plus 0x squared?
0.
Because
Did you get a 0?
It's skipped.
Oh, you have to put in the 0 here.
Put the 0 in the top line of number.
Yeah, and then work it out. Okay. Now, guys, please. Right. Please stop as you're talking. Let's look at letter C. Letter C, it says, evaluate f of negative 2. What do you think would happen if I put negative 2 everywhere I see an x? What do you think would happen? It would turn out to be 0. Go ahead and do that in your calculator. Let's make sure. In your calculator, in your home screen, if I put negative 2 in for everywhere I see the x, so we're evaluating. That's right. Okay, what did we get when we evaluated it? What did you get? Did you get 0?
Yeah.
That's a point on the graph. Negative 2, 0 is a point. It's an x-intercept. Okay, let's look at number 4. Same divisor. Let's see if 3, x minus 3, would divide into it. I can't find my cursor. Let's do this one real quick. So if I divide by 3, 1, negative 3, negative 6, and 8. Let's go through the process one more time. Bring down the first number. Multiply. Then we're going to add. Multiply. So here's the question. Is x equal 3 a 0 on my graph? Is it a solution? No, because I didn't get 0. So x minus 3 is not a factor. But the point 3 comma negative 10 happens to be a point on the graph. And I'll show that to you real quick, and then it's almost time. 3, negative 10 is a point on the graph. It's not a special point. It's not an x-intercept, but it is a point on the graph. Okay, so if I go back to my calculator up here, and I hit trace 3, 3, -10 is a point. It's just not on the x-axis. It's not a nice critical point, okay? All right. So, guys, we didn't get to do as much as I had hoped, but what I need for you to do is before you leave today, so that you don't forget, write down a summary. What do you think it means when the remainder is 0? What did you learn? If the remainder is not 0, write it on your summary, on your notes. We'll have to do our exit slip another time. We won't have time today. I know. I'm so sad.
What about when the remainder is 0?
Right. Write it down in your summary. What did you learn today about this remainder? When the remainder is 0, it tells you something. When the remainder is not 0, it tells you something.